How's it going, guys? This is Rory Ross with My Geek Review, and I'm here with Jason Montoya, and we're here to talk a little bit about what his service is and how it will help our viewers like yourselves. So Jason, tell me a little bit about what is the service that you provide for these lovely viewers.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Geek Review, and thank you, Rory, for having me here. So what we provide is called StreamHouse.
Okay.
And what StreamHouse is, it's the organization we're building to bring eSports across the nation. So
wow.
yeah. So it's a really big concept, and there's a lot to it. We have a lot of people getting involved, and even more getting involved, because this is a project that's being built for all of us. Just not. It's not a one-man job.
Right, of course. That's quite a mission too. I mean, you're wanting to provide it. Is it just here in the States, or are you trying to go more of international as well?
Well, see, one of the issues we identified when looking at the esports landscape, because we really, I mean, you hear it all the time, you know, for the gamers, by the gamers.
Right.
And it's really almost cliche in today's world. But this is something that, when we look at the esports industry today, there's companies and they're doing very good things. They're really helping the players and they're benefiting themselves. That's all good. But one of the problems with it is that they're really stuck in certain geographical areas. So, ESL, MLG, they're great organizations, but if you really want to be part of the esports community as a direct player, and you have to move to California or you have to move to New York.
Right.
And so our vision for esports is a little bit more player-centric. We want to really be able to enable players across the nation to really be part of esports at a deeper and more intimate level. And so what that means, it's really good. What it means is lots of fun.
Right. Yeah.
And it means a lot of I'm trying to keep it low to see breezable, but I really get hyped about it. And once I start getting a little hyped, I'm supposed to talk low for the camera, so excuse me, but it's really gonna bring esports into your local market, and that's why StreamHouseABQ is so amazing, because it's the first prototype that's live, that's real today, that's operating, that you can go watch at Twitch right now, Twitch TV, and it's StreamHouseABQ.
Okay.
And people can go watch our players. These three players live in a house, a real house, a beautiful house. This house is better than my house. It's a beautiful house. And they live there rent and utilities free.
Whoa.
Now, the reason they live there rent and utilities free is because we want to bring the ability to create a segue for players that are amateur players becoming pro players into modern day esports.
Okay.
And so how do you do that? Because there's no infrastructure for players today like there is for football or basketball. You have high school sports, you have college sports, you have the pros, and there's no graduation for that for players, for esport players. And so StreamHouse is looking to bridge that. So let me just jump to the end, where the dream is 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
We have 25 houses across the nation, and they're all league houses that compete in a league like the NFL.
Okay.
So in your backyard, whether it's Denver, Colorado, or whether it's Austin, Texas, or whether it's Miami, Florida, you would have your team that you can get passionate about, that you can be behind, like Broncos fans behind his team, or Dallas Cowboy behind his team.
Right.
You can be passionate about your local people, and there can also be local players, because local players can compete for positions to be in the StreamHouse and hence be part of that league.
Okay.
So it really is something that the players can create. We can do this, but we need your help. We need anybody's help that believes in this dream and wants to build it up.
Okay. So this is kind of like, so that was, you were saying, and a 5-year kind of plan, you want to have at least 25 houses around the States.
Yes.
So right now you only have one house, but you have 3 players in there currently.
Correct.
And they're playing, and now people can watch them as it is. They can donate to them, I'm assuming.
Correct.
And watching, just getting really intense. Now I'm guessing you guys have some memorabilia, like maybe some T-shirts that they can wear and be like, yeah,
Yeah,
go team, baby, StreamHouseABQ.
Right. So actually, we're working on that. We have a GoFundMe page that's ready to go with merchandise and things like that. So if people believe in the dream, they can donate to it. But we're not ready to launch the GoFundMe yet because we want some good press behind it.
Of course.
We want to build that attention before we say, hey, we're live on the GoFundMe. And we're building the back end of the project first because a lot of times, this isn't our first run at the rodeo. So before, a lot of times people try and put the cart before the horse, so we're really working on the back end. And what I mean by that is we're really working on the revenue models and investment models. So for example, we have a really qualified CFO, Chief Financial Officer, who just came on board with us. He's Mario Liu. He's from New York City, the heart of the financial district, America. And he's involved in doing equity research for Barclays Bank. Basically, that is a person that actually looks at the investment models and determines and looks at the management teams and makes a determination. Yeah, and he makes his determination for like electronic arts, takes two, whether they should invest in this company or that company or not. And so we told him about the project. He loved the idea, so he's on board and he's creating our revenue model, our investor deck. So Wall Street capable people can actually come and look at this revenue model and say, yes, this makes sense or doesn't.
Wow.
So we're building that back end first. So like for StreamHouse right now, ABQ, we're building the donation model. What we're really working on specifically right now is working on a Twitch partnership. Come on, Twitch, help us out here.
Come on, guys.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, trying to get a Twitch partnership, it can be rough because you got to build up to 500 concurrent viewers at one time.
Oh wow!
And so usually that's a 2-year timeline, and so we're on our 5th month now. So yes, we can wait till 2 years to get our viewership up to that level, but Twitch has the ultimate decision on that. If they want to partner you right away, they can, and that helps you immensely. And of course, it'll help our players because then we have a guaranteed monthly revenue stream coming in that helps us with utilities. And because our investors right now, they're all putting it in. They believe in the project. They're saying every month they pay for the utilities. Every month they pay for internet, water, games.
And with the games alone, I mean, we all know this, like $60, depending on like when they first come out, it's like, whoa, a lot of money right there. So definitely with all, and then imagining rents and utilities, and depending on where the house is located again.
In Albuquerque, New Mexico.
In Albuquerque. So, I mean, like you have a heating bill there. So I'm sure like that's not the cheapest thing ever either.
No. Thank God our investors. You're the best investors. Absolutely. And shout out to that 505 because Albuquerque doesn't get enough love. We're known like Breaking Bad meth capital of the world, which is not necessarily true.
Right. You're a little closer to the Roswell. You got a little bit more of the like sci-fi-esque.
Yes. Absolutely. Aliens. Absolutely. No, New Mexico's a wonderful place. But yeah, anybody that's listening to this, I mean, we totally invite them to reach out to us because we're looking for people that understand that vision, are in it just not just for we'll give this a year go. We're looking for 2-year, 3-year commitments to do things such as, all right, let's try this league. We're going to open a house in Denver, and if there's a group of people that believe that they can do that, we have a revenue model and a model built for that they can open the house in Denver and then hop in the league, and together we'll build the league up. So. Absolutely, because right now esports is like the wild, wild west. Right.
Yes. It's very still new. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, that's
little
dueling going on, trying to figure out what's happening.
And so, since it's the wild west, it's really the throne. I like to think of it like Game of Thrones, right? There's this throne here, and anybody can sit on it. But there's a lot of people vying to sit on it. And you got MLG that sits in it sometimes. You got ESL that sits in it sometimes. You have all these different leagues. But just like any business in its infancy or industry in its infancy, it starts small, and there's lots of competitors, and then the people that are able to execute and compete better, well, those are the ones that keep going on, and if there's another good competitor, they'll buy them up, and they'll buy them up. And and we just want to be part of that conversation. Ultimately, I want to be the organization that executes the best, that destroys its competition.
So the Lannisters, no.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, the Lannisters. Yeah, we'll see how that ends up. I'm still rooting for Sansa. You know, because come on, I mean, R.R. Martin, is he ever going to give love to, like, you know, to Sansa's family again? I mean, how many times can you pound that poor house into, like, nothingness? I mean,
well, you know, the North remembers, so, you know, you just got to remember that.
Karma,
Yeah,
and winter is coming. It must be when winter comes, that's when they flourish and they take over the entire world. It's got to be.
Right. So with you guys, though, I mean, like, you guys are kind of the newer dogs coming into town. MLG has been around for at least a few years now.
Oh, yeah. I think they're approaching a decade now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, with that, like, they've been established, so you guys are really more kind of...
And we have, too. We've been around for a long time, too, but what MLG has always done well is they know how to grab those investors. I think they're on like their D-level funding, which is, you know, they do their A-level investments, the first group, and the B-level, the second group, the C-level, the third group, and that's all cool and whatnot. Good for them. I mean, heck, they got bought out by Activision, but it's still. I'm just not a believer that this is like a top-down model where the corporations own it and then the players kind of, you know. Compete from the bottom up.
Right.
And I think some leagues are understanding that. Like League of Legends gets it. Like they give their players a stipend, and that's a more appropriate model because the model of like I'll give you an example. There was just this past E3, there was an investment group that spent, I think it was close to $1 million for, it was like 1.2, 1.1, whatever they raised. And they got a Call of Duty team going.
Oh, wow.
And this Call of Duty team was awesome. They were great players, expected to place in the top 10, all that. But they didn't qualify to stay in the A group. They got knocked down to B level. And that means B level, there's no money.
Oh no, so just right off the totem pole.
Right, so those investors are totally out their cash because that group can't compete for money anymore.
Right.
So we've really come with this and the idea of sustainability, not only for the players, but also for the investors, because this is something that needs to be sustainable so it keeps, you know, reaching the next level.
Right.
You know, so to that point, you know, the way our model is, you know, we looked at all the different models. We looked at NFL, we looked at NHL, we looked at NBA, and they all have good things to take from and bad things and whatnot. So we researched that for months and months and tried to pick kind of the best parts of each. So we really fell on majority really was an NFL model really.
Okay.
And the NFL model is really unique in the sense that it's a shared league with shared responsibilities, shared success and shared failures. I'll take a quick example of the Seahawks. We all know how horrible they are every year, okay?
None of the recent years, but I will say for the last 40.
Yeah,
sure.
well, okay, I gotta get into this real quick. The Seahawks, they were back to back almost on winning.
We were so close, yeah.
And you guys blew it by running by throwing it instead of running it. And this is the amazing part. Like entire dynasties changed on that one play. Literally, the dynasty of Tom Brady, and his coach Belichick. They would have been known as, well, the guys make it to the final game, they just can't finish it. Wow, they're really maybe their time's over, right? And the Seahawks would have been looked at like, oh my God, what a dynasty! I mean, two Super Bowls back to back teams. That one play shifted like decades of dynasty. I mean, it's rare that you see that level. I mean, it still just blows me away to this day.
Yeah.
So on that failure of the Seahawks, the great thing is that unlike that Call of Duty team that's outcashed, the Seahawks, and even if they didn't perform at that level, let's say they didn't make the playoffs, okay? They still share in the revenue of merchandise sales. They still share in the revenue of T-shirt sales, broadcasting rights. All those they get a share in. So that helps be a shared risk, because even if you're not the best team, like that Call of Duty team, you're still making some profit. And that's where our league is different than a lot of leagues today. We're really, again, back to that sustainability model.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
really
with all the different competitors, you got to find like what's the competitive marketing advantage you have amongst all of them, and to have the players know that they can actually play at a high level, and of course stay at that spot. But if they happen to have some bad games or whatever it might be, that if they fall down that bottom rung, it's not going to be like the end of the world, and that they are still sustained as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's I mean that's true. I would just caution that like players, like anywhere, you got to perform. Right. You got to perform. Right. And that's where it's a little bit harder on the players, honestly, because the team. The owner of the team is never going to be kicked out, right? But the good thing about the owner team, it could be players. I mean, it's like, the ownership of a team can be like the Green Bay Packers, where, there's so much people, five different owners, and this owner owns 20%, this owner owns 20%, this owner 20%, and whatnot. So those are options available, because we only have 25, maybe 30 spots to sell for this league. Because the way the numbers break down, you can't have 100 teams across the nation. Otherwise, there's no money to share. It just gets cut up too small. So again, back to the NFL model. That's there's a reason why they're very selective on how much they expand, because is there enough money, level of support, But long story short, to what you're saying, players have to perform, because if they don't, then owners and own team won't want them to stay on the team. So there's some responsibility there. But the other side of that is the opportunity is there for anybody to get involved in ownership right now. Anybody can really come to us. Let's talk a deal. Let's figure out how to make it work, and how you can be your own team owner, whether it's a group of owners owning one team or just one person, and how you can get involved in the league and build that up.
That's fantastic. Now, for your audience base, in terms of like the NFL, like you have your fans and you have your season ticket holders and things like that. How are you guys wanting to approach that kind of element? Like, the fans, of course, are going to be able to get that merchandise and be able to be not fanatics necessarily, but proud fans of that team.
Right.
And are they going to be able to also maybe either have like a monthly subscription where they're able to have like premium access to different things?
Great question. That's actually a question that kind of keeps me up at night a lot, in the sense that branding is like the most important thing ever. It's hard to underestimate the value of branding. It's the most important thing, and what I mean by that is if you have a brand like the NFL, I keep going back, we'll say Coca-Cola. I mean, you could just throw your name on, they just throw the name Coca-Cola, right, on anything, and it sells. But also there's a reason for that, because Coca-Cola, you're assured a certain level of quality. You're like, you know what, I know this is a quality offering, right?
Right.
So for our branding to be like perfect, I'll say, in a perfect world, if I could do anything in this world and I could launch exactly how we wanted, I would say that we find that A-level investor, that perfect investment group that has $15 million to launch all 25 StreamHouses at the same time. Boom.
Right.
Into the big markets. Then we could really brand at the same time. It would launch big. It would be, that would be the perfect world.
Right.
And then you could do what you're asking about, the merchandising. Like it would be a lot easier. It'd be like, all right, here's the LA like cyberpunks. Bam, You could do Florida, Miami. I don't know. I like to think Pikachu dolphins or something. Whatever.
Hey, you could get on that Pokemon Go.
Right. And so you could do that really well. But when you build something more like brick like this, which is more likely the way it's going to have to be built, it's tougher to control the branding. It's tougher to build it. It is good in the sense that it's very it's grassroots, so the people that do get involved in it are very passionate about it and really believe in it. Okay. So that's a good part. But also, there is a level of excellence you have to keep, a level of product control, quality control. It's kind of like what you're wearing DC and
Right.
what I'm wearing Marvel.
Right.
Marvel, as we know, it's true though, right?
Yeah.
Marvel has great quality control,
Mhm.
right? They know how they want their characters portrayed, and they put it on screen. They're like, that's the way we want it,
Right.
and that is that character. And us fans go, yes, thank you for being true to the character, right?
Mhm.
And then we watch DC movies. We go, yeah, that's kind of like the character, but Superman's killing people, and so's Batman, and it's kind of that's not.
Right, a lot of collateral damage going on. That
yeah. So that's part of that quality control, and
Right.
that's a hard thing to achieve, and that's why people pay good money for things that have achieved it, like a Coca-Cola or I'll say a Gordon Ramsay burger. I mean, that's a good burger.
Right. In terms of our viewers, what is the biggest thing that we can do for you guys right now? So you're getting ready to come out with the GoFundMe. Trying to like get as much basically information out there of what you guys are trying to do, so you can get to that 5-year goal even sooner than possible. What is it that we can do? How can we become involved in such a passionate level to make this happen?
It's so easy as just going to our Twitch channel and subscribing and then watching us and giving feedback. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's that simple. You know, our 3 current streamers that live at the house free right now, you know, they're always taking feedback, and right now they're personality based.
Okay.
You know, when we get more houses up and whatnot, that's when the league will have to take more of a pivot, and we'll pivot more towards an esports team base.
Okay.
But launching an esports team ain't easy.
Oh, yeah.
And launching an esports league is even more not easy. It's a very difficult thing, but for those fans, at minimum, that it would be so helpful. Even more than that, you know, is I put a call out to people out there that have professional ability skills. And what I mean that is, like, I'll give an example, like Mario Liu. He's a professional that went to college for many years to learn finance. He's working for Barclays Bank. His professional execution is at a high level of finance, and
Right.
he's giving that ability to us, not for free. We're giving him sweat equity in exchange, because that's what a startup does, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so we were giving sweat equity. So if there's professionals out there that say, I can produce this for you, then we're willing to chat, and we are looking for those people. So for example, I'm scouting right now a girl she's looking to be our digital marketing expert. We'll have another person that's looking to be our business development person, and these are all negotiations I have to have. I feel when the way the revenue model is right now, when we get all these key positions filled, there's about 5 of them I've identified now, but with the talks of everybody involved, or you know, there could be up to 8, 9, 10, you know.
Right.
But once those key positions are filled, then that's when we're really gonna set all ourselves to that 2-year timeline and say, we're running hard. Let's see what we get back. So there's still opportunity here for you, for me, for you.
Right.
Because this is really meant for the players.
Right.
And I say that because if you get involved now as a player, you know, like my 3 streamers, you know, we're going to be setting up sweat equity agreements where we have private stock, and we'll grant them some of that because they put a lot of time into this.
Right.
And so there's that opportunity. Now, with that, you know, there's still a lot of opportunity. How long the opportunity will be there, well, I don't know. And how well do we execute it? Well, that's up to us. It's up to me to hold whoever we get involved responsible for the job they do, and it's their job to hold me responsible for the job I do.
Right, of course.
And so that's where we're at, and we're still working on it. So I invite you to join us. I invite you to join us, and I invite you to join us. And everybody. So
now, if there was someone who wanted to or was interested in possibly becoming a player, how are you guys doing that process right now? Or are you more of just we'll find you kind of thing, like the time is ready, or are you allowing people to maybe submit applications somehow?
You're right. That's one of my favorite questions, or I should say favorite questions. One of my favorite processes that we did was to select the players. So it's an audition, is what it is, and we have people send in 2-minute videos of why they're interested, why they want to be part of that house and whatnot. And Albuquerque helped us learn a lot of this process and really helped help us learn some stuff the easy way, some stuff the hard way.
Right.
One thing I'm proud to say is the auditioning, we knocked that out of the ballpark. It was so well done. We got 3 of the best streamers in Albuquerque, and that's something we just did excellent from day one. And so that's a great process. But the process is that there has to be a house first.
Right.
Because unless there's a house first, then you can't have a streaming crew first. The good news about a house, you know, we have different methods of investment. I mean, we have a model right now that the current house is invested off.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like a $18,000 investment over 3, and that gets you 3 years of house operation. I mean, that's nuts. What other startup could give you 3 years of operation with $18,000 to start up? It's unheard of. It's great, right?
Definitely.
So of course there's other levels of investment, and depending on what resources you have, what your position is, well then, you know, hey, if you're in a position to do a $385,000 investment, we have that option too. You know,
right.
it just really depends.
Okay.
But those are something we all share with a business plan. We all know, and so we're just looking more to get the word out and build it. So thank you guys for helping us get the word out.
Definitely. And then before we close off, what is the email that they can reach out to you guys, especially if they want to do the audition, or they're looking more on the, you know, helping out more with the investment if they have more money than, you know, the little donation kind of thing.
Right. A StreamHouseOfficial at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Now we do have a website being built, so I'll give it out now, but it may not be live by the time they see this.
Okay.
And that's StreamHouseABQ.com.
Okay.
And so that website gives us our own email address, but that email address I haven't been checking, so I'm not going to give that one out.
Okay.
So just StreamHouseOfficial at gmail.com,
Okay.
and then for the website when it's live, hopefully in about a month's time, StreamHouseABQ.com.
Fantastic.
But email StreamHouseOfficial.
Okay. At gmail.com. Well, fantastic. So, guys, you know, again, the big thing right now is just going on to the Twitch, looking up StreamHouseABQ, taking a look at the 3 streamers we've got going on right now. They've got great personalities. Check them out. I think you'll really enjoy them, really love it. If you yourself are a streamer and you are a gamer and you think that you're at a high level, again, StreamHouseOfficial at gmail.com. And check that out. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. My name is Rory Ross. This is Jason Montoya. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you next time on My Geek Review.